I often hesitate. Every time I think about recording a video, I hesitate and I kind of stop myself because I think that all my videos are just the same, and all these videos in the past month or in the past few months have just been about the same thing, um, talked about with different words and different nouns, but they're all really getting at the same point, something that I haven't really named yet, something I haven't pinpointed exactly. And that bothers me because I don't even make videos anymore. I used to make videos um, multiple times a week, and now it's like I make one every few weeks. Um, and it bothers me that they're all about the same thing. That means my content's kind of in a lull. It's just repeating itself over and over. But I think looking at my channel, it's a one-to-one reflection of where I am mentally, spiritually, more mentally, about the things that I'm considering and things that I think are meaningful enough to me that I'm able to talk about them on the internet. And I look at when I started the channel, I was just so fresh. I had this fecundity for ideas. I was very the way I think of it, my mind was very fertile, and I was generating ideas left and right. And I have these seasons in my life where my idea of fertility is just high, and I'm just able to think. I've gone sterile now, it seems, and the progression of my videos, the video topics, have just kind of died down. I don't make any exceedingly happy videos anymore. I don't have any more profound discoveries. More of my videos now have just been about observations about how I feel, and I don't know if that's a change for the better. Um, Maybe it's more genuine. I don't know, but I think my last video is a good um, way to just encapsulate what this has been, which is kind of emptiness. And this is like a part two to that, I think, because I'm giving new names to it. This feeling that I've had for months, I've called it different things over the span of me moving. I called it loneliness. I called it boredom. The last video I called it emptiness, and maybe it's given up, giving up. I've given up. Um, I think my whole life I've kind of disliked the idea of giving up because it means you're a pussy, and it means you just backed out and you couldn't finish something, you couldn't follow through. And so I've always tried not to give something up immediately, give something up like so abruptly, like I'm doing something one day and then the next day I completely drop it. I don't do that. What I do instead to fool myself into thinking that I'm not giving up is I slowly lose it. And the thing that I want to talk about today is my poetry. I think I've given up in poetry, and I'm not able to tell that to myself. I have a Substack that I've posted to semi regularly. Every now and then there's a post, but very genuinely, none of those poems are new. I have not written a single poem for a Substack. Those are all poems that I've written months ago, or maybe even a year ago, that I maybe edit, maybe I change a word, maybe I revise a little, and then I post it. And it looks like I've been writing, but I haven't. And it's kind of, yeah, it's false, but I made that Substack because I had so much poems lying around that I wanted to post. And so I was posting on this Substack account, and I was thinking to myself, maybe now I'll get back into poetry, maybe now I'll start writing again. And I didn't. And so now I'm kind of acknowledging that I've probably given up. Because I had this point in this season of my life where poetry was the most important thing. I was writing poetry collections every month, and I was submitting regularly. And I don't even think I've gotten to 100 submissions. And then I got rejected. I got accepted like a few times into a non-significant publisher, which isn't something to really brag about. It's not really impressive. Not an impressive publication by any means. But that was something that kind of kept me going for a little bit. And then I tried submitting to the more reputable magazines and lit mags and whatever, and everything got rejected. I had another season of writing. I wrote new ones with a newer style and a newer voice, which I thought was better than my previous one. and they all got rejected. No chance. And so I think I quietly gave up. I gave up without telling myself that I'm giving up. I'm just saying that I told myself that, this isn't working. Maybe I'll just not do it because I'm not seeing immediate results. And I think I look at the other things that I'm passionate about, and whenever I don't see results, I kind of just quietly stop doing it, and I quietly give up, which is the sentiment of this video. You might be quietly giving up without even knowing. And things like guitar, classical guitar, that's something I quietly gave up. And now another way of saying it is, I think, rather than saying quietly giving up, just stop doing periodically, because I can come back. I can come back and play classical guitar. I can try to force a poem out of myself, but it wouldn't feel that good, unless, especially if it's like completely forced. But it's a natural thing, I think. This the habit of just stopping something because it's not really giving you anything. And I don't think you're a pussy for doing that. There's a part of my mind that thinks I am, that kind of says, oh, you could have done it more, you could have been better, you could have kept going, pushing through it, you could have used discipline, you could have had motivation to continue when you didn't want to, but it felt more genuine at that time. It felt like I didn't want to force it. And I don't know, it's, was it the right thing? Maybe. Would I have wanted to? No. Even now, I still try to read poems. I still try to watch videos about poetry. I still try to do that, but it doesn't feel like it's coming anymore. It doesn't feel like it's working. It's like I've just gotten dry. And God, I don't know what to do about it. And it's something like my focus in my life and my priorities kind of shift. I went from doing all of that, and now I'm more focused on just regularly going to the gym. I don't practice anymore. I don't do this. I don't write anymore. But I have good workouts, and that doesn't fulfill me enough. There's a part of me that wants to do everything, and I've talked about this before. I want to be everything. I want to do as much things as I'm capable of. And when I can't, it kind of disappoints me. It makes me feel like I've given up. It makes me feel empty. And that's kind of what the feeling has been. When I look at these things, though, and zooming out a lot more, I always kind of come back to them. If it's meaningful enough, I can come back to it. I've had periods where I stop practicing guitar, and I come back and I practice more, and I stop. It's like you're just pulling in and out. You're just stopping and going. It's just, it comes and goes. And maybe this is what's happening with me right now. Maybe I'm having this big season where I'm focusing on this, and later I'm going to feel the need to revert or do something new. And I'll tell you, one of the fears that I have with that is losing what I currently have. Months ago, my whole world was poetry. Now it's not. Not a single bit. Right now, my whole world is going to the gym. Now, what if a few months from now it just is not? I just lose the motivation to work out. And I fear that I'm just going to lose my gains. That sucks. That's terrible. I don't want that to happen. But I think it's inevitable. And I think the only way that you can combat that, and the only way that you can kind of oppose that, is to just discipline, motivation, these things, the self-improvement things. There's a time and a place for that, yes, but I don't know. Maybe that's actually what I need. I also fell off of self-improvement. I used to read a bunch of self-help books, and I had a lot of habits. I had like a track where I'd do all these things. I lost that now. I don't do that anymore. I've quietly given it up. And maybe I should just give down, whatever the opposite is. Maybe I need to come back and do the things. And that's the thing that I try to say every video, all of these recent videos, towards the end, I try to say something positive. I say, I'm going to do this. In spite of this problem, I will find this solution, and I will take this course of action. I don't know. There's this sense of unknowingness and the sense of mystery with these videos where I've identified the problem. Now what? That doesn't solve anything. This video doesn't really solve anything, but it talks about what I feel. Maybe that helps. I don't know. I don't know if it does. I don't think it has to. Regardless, I think if I am expecting any good change upon myself, it has to come from me and me only. And I can talk about a problem all I want. That's not gonna solve it. But what am I talking about now? You know, I think I just need a video every once in a while just to talk. And I think I'm just gonna be stuck here for a while. I don't know what to do. And maybe if I keep making videos, I'll eventually find something. Or maybe I'll keep making videos and one day I'll just connect all the dots and realize that it was this all along. Hopefully that happens. And hopefully I don't have to give anything up anytime soon. And I will see you in the next video.